10 wild animals in Sweden. Sweden is a European country located in the northern part of the continent, in Scandinavia. It is the 5th largest country in Europe and the 3rd largest one in the European Union, has the largest population of the Nordic countries with 10.4 million, is a monarchy, and has a lot of different environments and climates. An interesting part of the country that I wanted to tackle is its wildlife. In light of that, I have listed the best of it, and I hope you will love learning what animals live in Sweden. On place 10, red squirrel. The red squirrel is a species of tree squirrel native to Europe and Asia, where it is very common. It is herbivorous and arboreal and feeds on seeds and nuts. It is known for hiding excess food in caches, usually buried, or in holes in trees. In Sweden, ekorren, which means the squirrel, is a well-known and appreciated children's song which was composed in 1892 year. The squirrel is common in Sweden and was even part of Norse mythology. On place 9, brown bear. The brown bear is one of the largest species of bears in the world, only rivaled by its close relative, the polar bear, which cannot be found in Sweden. It is also one of the largest carnivores in the world and has a wide distribution range throughout much of the northern hemisphere. This bear is one of the most adaptable and omnivorous animals on the planet, being particularly curious and feeding on almost anything it can. On place 8, Eurasian beaver. The Eurasian beaver, also known as the European beaver, is a species of beaver native to much of Europe and into Western and Central Asia. After having been hunted to near extinction, it has now recovered from its losses and can be found in most of its former range. In Sweden, the Eurasian beaver had been hunted to complete extinction by 1870 year, but more and more individuals have been introduced to the country over the decades, and they now live around rivers in hilly to mountainous areas. On place 7, Wolverine. The Wolverine, also known as the glutton, the quickhatch, or the carcajou, is the largest terrestrial species of mustelid. It is solitary, muscular, and extremely strong despite its small size. In fact, it is so ferocious that it can take down elks, and even lynxes. However, it is primarily a scavenger. This mammal lives in the northern parts of Sweden, and there are a couple hundred of them in the country. On place 6, Eurasian otter. The Eurasian otter, also known as the European otter, the river otter, the Old World otter, or the common otter, is a species of semi-aquatic mammal native to much of Eurasia. It can be found all across Sweden and lives near freshwater waterways. This mammal almost exclusively feeds on fish and is a fierce defender of its territory. It is the most widely distributed species of otter, and it is mostly solitary. On place 5, Arctic fox. The Arctic fox, also known as the polar fox, the white fox, or the snow fox, is a small species of fox native to the Arctic regions of the Northern Hemisphere. It is perfectly adapted to living in extremely cold environments, thanks to its very thick, warm, and white fur, making it completely invisible in vast, snowy lands. There are very few Arctic foxes in Sweden. In fact, there are only fewer than 200 adult individuals in Sweden, Norway, and Finland combined. On place 4, European rabbit. The European rabbit, also known as the coney, is a species of rabbit native to western France, the Iberian Peninsula, and northwestern Africa, and introduced to many other parts of Europe, including Sweden. This rabbit has often had devastating effects on the local environment to which it had been introduced. It is massively on the decline, being threatened by predation, by lynxes and eagles for instance, disease outbreaks, overhunting, and habitat loss. On place 3, harbor seal. The harbor seal, also known as the common seal, is a species of seal native to temperate and Arctic coastlines of the northern hemisphere. In Sweden, it lives in the southern and western parts of the country. This seal is the most widely distributed species of pinniped, which includes walruses and seals, and can weigh as much as 168 kilograms. This species is nowhere near extinction, with up to 500,000 individuals on the planet. On place 2, Eurasian lynx. The Eurasian lynx is a medium-sized species of wildcat native to northern, central, and eastern Europe, as far as the Himalayas, Siberia, and the Tibetan Plateau. It hides in the heights of the mountains, at elevations of up to 5,500 meters. Although considered of least concern, it suffers from habitat fragmentation and loss, as well as depletion of prey and poaching. The hunting of the Eurasian lynx is controlled in Sweden, and there are about 1,250 individuals in the country. On place 1, reindeer. The reindeer, also known as the caribou in North America, is a species of deer found in the northernmost parts of the globe, from northern Alaska and Canada to Siberia and northern Scandinavia. In Sweden as well as in other Scandinavian countries, reindeer husbandry is pretty common. However, reindeer ownership is only allowed to the Sami people. The reindeer has always been an important symbol in Sweden, being featured on heraldry and other coats of arms.